Fairbairn now to kick this one away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Keenum now to throw. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down.
And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. This is Lamar Miller.
Go, 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 run.
And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll toss it to Miller. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up fourth. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. back at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Keenum going to try and throw on third down. And this one complete to Reed. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They do snap it to Keenum. Out to the left here to Reed. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And this Texans defense stands tall. And now out comes Houston. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 43 yards. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Left side, Hopkins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Miller, and he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground. Pretty much stoned them on that play and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop them from the 1 back to the 2. They'll go with Foreman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. After the run, Watson going to throw. And it's a touchdown. taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Well, that's what you want to see from your quarterback when it's a goal line situation. A guy who's not afraid to tuck the ball, give his body up, and get into the end zone. That ought to inspire his entire team.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-0 as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
53.
They'll fake the give. Now Keenum under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. DeAndre Carter back deep. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 37-yard line.
Let him go.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 63 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here goes the hot. Like 20. Bring it. Double tight.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 24-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Watson. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Play 56. Let's go. 56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. 56 to Mike.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And the pressure gets to him again. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Greg Stroman back deep waiting for it. Taking on the midfield logo. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I got 86.
The final shot before the break. Keenum. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
We want it. Come to my.
Now it's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Here goes hot. Like 20.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Check 99. Check 99. Switch. Hey, hold on. Hey, doctor. 6'6", bullet high. Check 49. Rush in.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd down. Keenum on the crossing route. Complete. That's Reed. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll hand it now to Geis. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Heel tight.
On 2nd and 12, Keenum. Here's a screen to Powell. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
At their own 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The fullback dive held up short. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's get it. Run, please. Hey, 50.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum looking long for his... Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at about the 32. After the interception, here's Watson escaping the pressure right. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. Out of the gun, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A 2-yard touchdown run, and the Texans will extend their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
At their own 35-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Out to the right, he's got the tight end Waring. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Set, 19. Right there, 56. You better bring it.
Throwing now, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Texans will add on to their lead. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Texans 30, Redskins 3.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Geis. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted.